Yo, welcome to the Shot by Dame podcast, and we're back with another episode. Today we are going to interview a local photographer. She's very talented. Before we get into that, how are you guys doing today? How are you doing?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who don't know, this is Kayla. She's here from Bakersfield. She's a photographer here in town. We are both here, photographers. So this is the first time I have a photographer on the podcast.
Woo!
So
exciting.
It's kind of different because I think all the interviews I've done so far has been like other businesses. So now that somebody's actually on the same.
Yeah. We know each other.
We know. Yeah. We kind of know what we're probably talking about most of the time.
Right.
So I don't think I'm learning a lot about what you do, but as far as exactly what you do for your business.
Right.
So for those of the viewers who don't know, or who might be tuned in as new viewers, can you give a quick breakdown of who you are as a person and just let them know who you are? Of
course. So I'm Kayla, Irene, photography. Kayla Paulhamus is my full name, but Paulhamus is not cute. So we didn't go with that for a business name. I am 24 years old. I'll be 25 in 2 weeks. And I am a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a friend. I have 3 nieces and two nephews. And then I'm born and raised in Bakersfield, California, and I'm also a safety and compliance director. So that's fun.
Okay. So you have a big family?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers.
Everyone here in town, or you have
all over the place?
All over the place.
Yep. All over.
Are you really family oriented?
I am hugely family oriented. Yes.
That's good.
My favorite role is an auntie.
Okay.
I had my first niece. Well, okay, so my oldest niece is 18, but she's so close in age because I'm 24 that she's almost like a sister to me. I call her my sister. No, she's definitely like my niece, but my oldest young niece is 8. So when that happened and she was born, it was really cool because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I can spoil the heck out of them, take all the pictures of them. But yeah, so I have a huge family, and my sisters and I are all really close, and my brothers, and it's really cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So you're a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Has this always been something you've been into, or?
Not specifically. I was always the kid, like growing up in high school, that had my phone out and like was in people's faces taking pictures or selfies.
Was that just for like memories and stuff,
or
was it just because you wanted to take the photos?
Yeah. So, I guess we're kind of getting into this kind of quick, but when I was 13, my mom passed away. And so we didn't really have a ton of pictures of her after that. And I was a freshman in high school when that happened, or going into my freshman year. Yeah. So from that point on, I kind of realized like, I wish I had more to look back on of my mom. And I just it clicked for me that not to take a moment for granted. Like, and I know that a lot of people say, put your phone away, you know, you're going to remember it more, but that just isn't the truth, like at all. I wish I remembered more of when I was young. Yeah. And so, yeah, it kind of started like that. And I just kind of like was always that annoying kid taking tons of pictures in high school and stuff. And then after like into college, just with my camera was mostly like landscape. Okay. And then it just, someone asked me to do their wedding, and I started taking pictures from there. Was that
your first? Mm-hmm. Your first thing was a wedding?
Yes.
By yourself?
Yes.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Terrible. The pictures were not good at all. But
at all?
No, like, not at all.
Did you know to use your camera?
No, I was shooting on auto. Like I knew nothing.
Okay,
nothing.
So this was like really beginning.
It was bad. It was really bad.
See, I don't feel as bad now because I know I've told a lot of people like
your first wedding.
My first wedding by myself. And everybody's like, why didn't you second shoot? How can you do this? And now I'm like, does everybody have to do that?
No.
But now knowing that, that's cool.
I'm
not alone.
Yeah, it was so much fun though, which is why I like continued to pursue it after that. Yeah. Like the actual being able to capture those memories for people and knowing that they were going to be special, even if they weren't very cute, they were going to be special at one point or another. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that's just kind of where it started.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was cool.
When did you start?
That was March of 2018 was
so
when
you
I
just recently started.
Yeah, so that
you
was when
progressed really fast. Damn, 2018. That's
This is 2 years.
Damn,
yeah,
2 years.
2.5 years. Mm-hmm.
Did you figure whenever you picked the camera, like, this isn't be a business?
No, not at all. I thought, like, so after that, I took pictures of my niece, the older one that I was talking about that's 18. She was like my go-to model. She loved it. So she was like, let's do it. Like, we're going to go out. They were still not great pictures at all. But recently I got to do her senior pictures. So to see the difference between like where I started and then now, I was like, whoa, that's
Do you
so
post
crazy.
those pictures?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you still have them on there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have every picture I've ever taken.
That's me too. Like, if people watch it, like, you could literally scroll to the very bottom of my page and like, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad. But like, I'm not like ashamed of it.
No,
like,
me either. Like, yeah,
it shows like a crazy amount of growth.
Right, and you have to. Everybody has to start somewhere. So it's like you could either start and pretend like you're going to be the best straight off, or you can know that it was bad, but show like how much you've grown, and that's so crazy to me.
Yeah. So we were literally just talking about it before we put cameras on. Have you ever thought about getting into video?
No, but yes.
But you should.
I've had a few people ask me if I do video or like ask me to do video, and I just get really nervous about taking on too much. I feel like you can be really good at one thing or like decent at a bunch of things. You know, that sounds really mean, and I don't mean it like that, but
no, it's definitely.
I feel like I can only put so much effort into photography specifically, especially with another full-time job on top of that. I don't really have the extra time to put into. If I'm going to do something, I want to be perfect. Like I want to be so good at it that everybody freaks out, you know? So I feel like if I tried to do video,
it would just kind of pull
I'm like, I don't want to be decent. I want to be really good at it. So I'm thinking about dabbling, but we'll see. I have no idea yet.
That's how I was too. I wanted to do, because these are both pretty much the guys I work with most times. S, Mike, and they, to me, I feel like they're on complete different levels than I would ever be. And I think I realized that because I wanted to do video. Yeah. And then I realized like I like doing photo, and I didn't want to like, I couldn't go in between. Yeah. It was taking too much for me to like jump in and try to be as like as good, I guess. Yeah. Like photography was my thing, and then trying to go into that, I just couldn't figure out like how to do certain things that he was doing, or certain things.
And then you get frustrated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I was just kind of like, I still do it. Yeah. I think I know the basics. I'm nowhere compared to their level, but like I couldn't understand how to get. You know that there's growth. Yeah. That I could figure it out eventually when I get time. And but I think it's something. I think all people, to me, anyways. I mean, I know most people, like they say they want to stick to one thing and figure it out. Yeah. But to keep growing,
I know.
And to, to keep growing and just figure it out, I think everybody can.
Like I told you before we started, I think it would give me something to work towards, which is where I flourish when I have a goal and I'm trying to do something specifically. So yeah, definitely. I think that's something to think about for sure.
I was just thinking right now that it's crazy with Damien saying like, oh, I'm nowhere near their level, but like I feel like that about like a lot of people though. I mean, even with this, I'm like, I'm not even on his level. But yeah, it is. Video does have a lot to learn on. Like there's just so much to learn on.
And I feel like it's so different.
Learning is just never ending. Yeah. There's always something new to learn. Definitely. And yeah, it's cool to hear that though. But yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like there's so many people that I'm not even on their level.
I feel like we could do that until we are blue in the face though. Like I'm nowhere near so and so. I'm nowhere near so and so. Like the only thing I really worry about is just how far I've come for myself. You know what I mean? And that's
I think it's in our nature to kind of figure out. I feel like, okay, I'm not at
as
that
good.
Level,
yes, of
comparing
course.
Ourselves to others.
Yes, comparison.
Especially if we're like our biggest critique on ourselves.
Right. Right.
But it's good though. It's kind of good just to show yourself like that's where I want to get to.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you happen to get overwhelmed easily when things don't go as planned?
I feel like as a wedding photographer, we're not allowed to get overwhelmed easily when things don't go as planned. I feel like in my personal life, definitely. Yeah. I get so overwhelmed so easily in my personal life. But when it comes to business, I feel so confident in what I do that I don't really let little things here or there like throw me off completely, because I feel like on a wedding day specifically, because that's what comes to mind for me. If I'm not there to like keep everybody calm and like let everybody know everything's going to be okay, it's going to become chaos so instantly. And so I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
But obviously there's days where things just like are
yeah.
You just can't do it the right way, you know?
Do you feel like you've always been like, has it always been that way? Really easy just to like not feel overwhelmed?
No, definitely not.
So when you first started, it was a little bit more?
Oh, yeah, for sure. One of my first weddings, not my very first, but like one of my bigger weddings that I did, it rained. And they weren't planning on rain at all. It was in January. Yeah. They had no plans. It was an outside. The entire thing was outside. It was so scary. And I was like in the room with the bride, like, everything's going to be okay. No worries.
Yeah.
I'm like, literally. And I'm like hiding underneath the tent, trying to make sure that like it doesn't mess up. It was crazy. Yeah. And then your gear can't get wet. Like we talked about that earlier, putting your sink or your camera in the sink. Your gear can't get wet. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? It was crazy.
Follow you around with an umbrella.
Literally, yeah. Or just hope for the best.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But you just have to stay calm. You can't just be like, okay, peace out. I'm out of here, you know?
And that's part of like us being the photographer.
Yeah.
They look at us to be able to control that and not be overwhelmed.
Right.
Because they see you as a photographer and you're just like, I can't
freaking
deal with this.
out. I know.
They're like, who did I book? You know,
I'm paying you. I'm confused.
Like, you know, like this is what you're supposed to like experience comes with, you know?
Seriously. Definitely.
But that's cool. I think because I think I realized it's weird. Maybe I'm just maybe I just been blessed to not be in bad situations.
Right.
But it hasn't been to a point where I feel like I had to go completely to the point where I'm just like, dang, like I don't know what to do. Yeah, this is just out of my control type of thing.
Right.
Everything's been pretty much where like, okay, I could quickly adjust and just figure it out. And
I feel the same. I don't think there's been a day where I've been like, okay, that's it. Like I give up.
Yeah, okay,
it's too late.
Guys,
sorry.
There's nothing I can do.
No, I don't think I've had one of those days. I'm sure it's coming. I know every day is not perfect and it's always going to be crazy, but I just think that you have to be able to like snap out of it, get going. It's your job. You're being paid to be there and to be able to fix those kinds of situations. So
yeah, definitely.
The ones you can control.
Yeah.
Not the rain.
Not weather, not tornadoes.
No.
So we've already talked about this, but for those who don't know you, is this your full-time job?
No. Okay. I am a safety and compliance director. My dad owns a trucking company. I used to do all of the billing and like accounting side of it there. And we had some things change and then coronavirus and everything kind of got crazy like in April, May. So I transitioned in July to the safety and compliance / dispatcher. I do a little bit of dispatching too. I'm kind of just all over the place in there. And I do that Monday through Thursday right now. Sometimes I go in on Fridays, but you know, I try my best.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what I do full time. And then this is just my part time.
Okay. Does that take away from what you want to do?
Yes, definitely.
What would you say like it takes away from most?
So if I could have every single day doing a photo shoot, I would do it.
Yeah.
I probably turn away like 8 or 9 clients a week DMing me or like emailing me. And that's not a flex, I swear. No, I just literally don't have the time to get everybody in who wants to get in, including past clients. Like I was booked for fall in like middle of August. Like I had nothing else available. So then you have all of these people who are seeing the pictures I'm posting and they're like, oh, they're like, oh, like I love that. Can you do my fall family photos? And I'm like,
I've been booked.
I'm like, do you want to do your fall family photos in February? Because I'm down, but like that's it, you know? So I feel like if I could spend every day at sunset doing a shoot, I absolutely would. Like that's what I would do. But it's just not realistic right now. So, but that's not like a problem. It's just something that I'm working towards. Another goal I have.
Excuse me. You pretty much talking about how you're having to turn down so many people, and then people see, because that's actually that happens a lot. I don't know if that happens with everybody, but I've noticed that too. Like, so I think I booked all my like pretty much from because I'm not gonna book too much for December.
Yeah.
So December I usually try to take off. November is when I try to like knock out whoever I can get in.
Right.
So what was it, September? At the end of September, I put out like, hey, if you want fall photos,
do it now. Yes.
And it's like, so then after I booked out, like it was cool. You know, I booked out cool. And then when I started posting them, they're like, hey, everybody else starts coming. It's like, I've already put
I'm really
like,
sorry,
before, like I'm trying to get who I can and what I can.
Yes.
Especially at the time change now, like you really can't do anything outside of that. Nope. Like you lose 2 hours of sun.
Yeah.
Like, so, but yeah, it takes a lot. Like your job will take a lot, especially now, like say the time goes, I don't get home till 5.
Yeah.
Like it's pitch black now.
I know.
So it's nothing, you know.
There's
like,
nothing we can do.
Yeah. So, so for those who are listening, like during this time, get in when you can. Like,
I say book in April for your fall, and then book in fall for your April.
So I see some photographers who do like a waiting list for certain things, and I need to figure out how to do that.
I know,
because people will reach out way ahead of time.
Yeah,
like let me know when, and I'm just like, I need to get the list. Like,
yeah, so I just put them on my calendar.
Oh, okay.
If they reach out in like April and are saying, hey, can we do Christmas pictures? I'm like, absolutely. Let's get you on the calendar now. And then my calendar's booked. Like, I don't, if I wait, then it's just, I'm never going to get anybody on my books. And that's
so like, I've waited on that because I want to do the same thing. But I realized during the orchard sessions, the weather's been so weird.
Yeah, you never know.
I booked like bad timing.
Yeah.
Like the last week I was doing them, like, they were pretty much all gone. I had to go drive around looking for them because it didn't land the same as last year.
Right.
So like this year was fall.
And you never know.
Exactly. This year was fall. If I booked too soon, like I booked too soon this year as well. Like I was like, this don't look like fall.
No.
So I was just like, I had to edit to a point where like, okay, it looks like fall.
Kinda, yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of one thing I'm kind of like holding off till like, I'll wait till see what the weather's like. Or just to make sure. But yeah, I definitely want to get like some type of like email list or something where people can just sign up and be like, this is what I'm interested in.
Right.
Okay, so if you could pick, or if you have an idea, what would be your dream shoot? Like just an idea of like,
oh my god,
the most thing you would ever want to shoot ever. Like,
okay.
If you could just pick one thing,
like one specific scenario.
If you could just come and create, like, I want to create this. This is what I want to do. What would it be?
Italy.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
Bridal portraits in Italy, not a wedding, or like a super, super, super like small wedding, like thing. Literally 30 people max. But I want to style it. Yeah. And I just want them to pick out their outfits, and then I'll do everything else.
You want to pick up the outfits?
I mean, yeah, if she'll let me buy her dress, but no, I know that most women are like, no, this is my dress, you know, but I would do everything else. And my cousin actually just got engaged, and she lives in Italy right now. So I told her, I was like, so I'm shooting the wedding and she was like, actually, we're coming to California. And I'm like, what? Are you joking? I know. I was so sad. I was like, okay, but we'll go back for your pictures, right? She's like, yeah, that works. I'm like, okay, cool. So, but yeah, Italy for sure.
That's great. That's a dope place to be
at.
Or
Paris. Or Paris.
I feel like I've never traveled like that. But like just seeing like, I think the scenic view, just like everything just looks different.
Just the place.
And it's like being from California, not shooting too much everywhere else. Like it feels like you don't get enough.
But you know what's crazy is people in Oklahoma or like Wisconsin are probably like, imagine shooting in California.
Yeah, we're probably all the same way looking like, inside out or something.
We really are. Yeah, we really are.
But yeah, just being like, man, that's like a
dream.
Like a dream. Yeah,
I
it's
know.
Like a dream. Like,
you told me dream. I went up there because that's the truth.
So, do you have a mentor? Or someone that maybe you've reached out to like help out, and you just feel like, no, what they've really helped me.
Oh yeah, not really like recently.
When you started,
but yeah, when I started, Stephanie Young or Steph Young Photo. Any question I had, literally anything, it could be, you know, where were these shot as? Which as a photographer now, we know you shouldn't ask that question because people hate it. But like, hey, where was this shoot at? I would love it, whatever. Or hey, how do I do this for my camera? How do you edit like that? Anything I had, she always would give me like some sort of advice or like just straight up the answer, you know, which I feel like in a competitive industry like photography is really rare because I've reached out to people other than her as well who either ghost me and don't say anything back to me at all or are really vague or don't want to give you the information. And it's just kind of, we're supposed to be community over competition, but it's only whenever it suits the person. Yeah, when it's convenient. Exactly.
So you've been through that then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just make sure it wasn't me.
No.
All right, so we're going to call these people. No, yeah, that's the one thing I've felt before too. And that's the reason I have that question because I feel like when I started the same thing, I feel like when I was like super new, like nobody wants to help you.
No, they don't want to help you.
And then when they see you start like, oh, he's actually kind of doing it, or they're actually kind of becoming good. Hey, if you need tips or anything, it's like,
Or then they come to you.
Before.
Yeah. Hey, how'd you shoot this? And I'm like,
Yeah. I've been like, I feel, well, the people I have reached out to, like, I've never been in contact after. Like you said, most of the time they just leave you on scene.
Yeah, literally.
Like, they'll leave you on scene or they just don't, and it's, but I have had people who gave me tips or helped me out, let me go and shoot with them and stuff. So it's really cool. But I do feel like that's a big thing. Yeah. A big thing on like not helping when you first start.
Yep. And a lot of people don't talk about it.
That was what I was going to talk about too. Because I feel like I've talked about, like, I think me and Mike talked about it. Like, I feel this way, but I don't know if that's just me or is it just me being
nope.
Like,
it is not just you.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's most photographers will go through that. And maybe it's a thing that we go through. Well, but it's like, it shouldn't be that way.
And for me, it like inbred in me this imposter syndrome that like, okay, am I not supposed to be doing this? Like, people aren't taking me seriously. Yeah. I don't think that this is what I need to be doing. Why am I not like getting this kind of community that everybody talks about? Everybody talks about the community, but then when you need somebody or something, it's crickets. Yeah. And that's just not what I think that this community should be. Yeah. I'm very forthcoming with a lot of things. I talk about how I edit, what I use to like deliver galleries. I talk about all of it because I don't.
I deliver my galleries because you told me about Shootproof. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. I'm all about like trying to help another person because ultimately what sets me apart from everybody else is what my customers are going to get from me at their shoot, the relationships that we build. And if they feel comfortable with me and enjoy my time and the way that I take their pictures or whatever, they're going to come back. I'm not going to be worried because, Sally down the street started using the same editing program that I use or whatever, that's just, to me, it's silly to be that insecure about your craft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I also feel because like, there's tons of photographers.
There's tons
and there's more coming up. There's tons of new ones. Yeah. And I just don't feel like there's going to be too many.
No,
because
never.
I don't only feel people book you for your style or for the way you take pictures, or they book you for your personality, for your character. Like, you're literally the business they want.
You are your brand.
And 100%. I think most people think it's just your work. You can be a really good photographer, and some people might not go because they might not like who you are. Yeah. Or they might not. Yep. There might be little things they won't go for you for.
Right.
So I don't think photography is that business that you feel like, oh, they're gonna come in and just take everybody. And plus, there's no way you can be that busy. To take in everybody. There's just it's impossible.
Yep.
So yeah, that's actually good to talk about because I've felt the whole time I was like, is it just me or is it just few people? Or so it's crazy that you went through that too.
Yeah, we all go through it. So
maybe everybody goes through it.
I think we all go through it.
So do you watch my podcast?
Yes.
Be honest.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna test you.
All right.
No, just playing. No.
I'm ready.
So have you seen the new segments we do of Dope or Dumb?
Dope or Dumb?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna give a small segment of Dope or Dumb right now. Okay.
All right.
So what it is I'm gonna pick a few topics and you have to pick whether or not you think it's dope
or dumb. Yeah.
Or if it's dumb.
Yeah.
So in every interview from now on, I'm actually gonna enter this into like a small segment for the interviewer.
Okay.
So Pokemon Go. Did you think it was dope or dumb?
It was dumb. John, he's over here stoked about it.
Mike, was it?
No, Matt? I thought it was pretty dope.
You thought it was dope?
Yeah, that was real cool. I think it was cool at the time.
Matt.
Nah, I downloaded it and it was pretty dumb.
Wait, so I never got into it, so I'm gonna say dumb because I didn't know what it was, but I knew people were going to crazy.
It was going crazy, yes.
To find these Pokemon, I heard like people were going to restaurants.
They were just at weird random places.
It's dangerous.
It was dangerous. That's why I said dumb for sure.
Lightweight was kind of dangerous, but what was cool about it is like it was cool just because it was a game that you don't sit at your house anymore.
Just sitting.
True, yeah. I got people out of there.
I feel that.
It's like it put you in a world.
Yeah. You're just not on an app. Yeah. That's different. Yeah, it is different for sure. Yeah,
I think there should have been like an age restriction. I would feel better. But like if you have an 11-year-old running around Bakersfield.
Finding dead bodies. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, they found dead bodies.
That game was such a game changer that it's kind of like trial and error. Like,
I know.
Get the game out, make some changes and it'll...
I feel it.
Okay. So digital payments. Dope or dumb? Venmo, Zelle.
Oh, dope. So dope.
Mike?
Yeah, man, that's convenient, man.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Matt?
Oh, yeah. That's how you pay me.
That's how you pay me. I'm not paying you no more. No, John?
It's dope.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like skeptical because of what can happen.
Right.
Like, people can hack and steal your information, stuff like that. But I mean, it's the most convenient thing that's happened.
Yep.
Since
and then you're not
delivering pizza. But not, I mean, damn, like it's changed everything.
Yeah.
Like everything, like it's crazy.
Well, then
but some people still don't want to do it.
Yeah, and then you're not running around with wads of cash, like not
Yeah.
like, but you're not running around with tons of cash, and then people don't have to go to the ATM. For coronavirus, you don't even have to touch anybody.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
It was so convenient. It was like pre-coronavirus, like made for it. Like,
it was.
he has wads. You want to bring the cash in? Like, I just seen him right now. I was like, what the hell? Okay, Christmas movies.
Oh,
Dope.
dope.
Oh yeah,
Mike.
those are always dope, man.
John.
What's the question?
Christmas movies.
Oh yeah.
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 Matt.
For sure, dope.
Okay, everybody give me a Christmas movie.
Rudolph the
Come on.
Red-Nosed
Home
Reindeer.
Alone.
That's
Oh, Home Alone.
I think Home Alone's like the top like classic.
I said Rudolph.
What about
of
A Christmas
course.
Story?
Did you consider Nightmare Before Christmas?
So
Yeah.
I thought that was Halloween.
It's
kinda
Halloween,
like
Christmas.
okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a dope movie though.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Matt.
I said A Christmas Story.
Oh,
So, okay, that's cool.
a good
Yeah,
one.
that's up there. Okay, so those were all 3 questions for dope or dumb.
Perf.
Um,
That makes me happy because I was sweating.
all right, so we asked if I put up a thing to see if people on Instagram would give some questions for you. So we have actually a few questions.
Perf.
So some of them are actually on the interview.
Oh, okay.
So I won't ask those.
Okay.
I'm not going to name any names.
Okay.
Except for no. I'm not naming ones. So one of them's kind of a weird question.
Okay.
I'm still going to ask it.
Okay.
So the first one is, what techniques do you use to make people feel comfortable?
I like to make myself seem really silly, which I am just kind of silly in general, to make others feel more comfortable. Yeah. So
like
not
focused on them.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely.
So if I'm like if I trip that's really extreme. But like if I
You just fall on purpose.
That's really extreme. But anything I can do to like laugh at myself really usually makes other people feel a lot more comfortable. But also just talking to people.
Yeah.
I feel like the more questions you ask about somebody, the more willing they are to like open up, be more comfortable, feel more like about themselves. Obviously, you don't want to say like too personal questions, but what do you do? How long have you been together?
Like open, yeah.
Right. And then another thing that I did that I implemented was on my question or like my contact form on my website. I put in there, like, tell me a little bit about you. And so they give me a little bit about them before I even ever meet them in person. So then I read that and I'm like, okay, now whenever I meet, I can ask about their dog, Paisley, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's like a conversation starter. And they're like, oh, she already knows who I am, And it has been so good for my like relationship building side of my business to where they feel like I actually care about them as a person and not just as a client,
That's dope. And that's before like the whole coronavirus stuff took over. And that's one thing. Well, I mean, I don't mind I share because this is like my process on like booking weddings and stuff. But like, so I have like 2 sheets. And one's for the bride and one's for the groom.
Oh, that's
And what
cool.
I do is I have like this timeline. It's not a timeline, but it's like a bunch of questions for them.
Right.
So what it is like she answers questions about him and he answers questions about her.
I love that.
But then we go over at the same time. And this is before they even book me. That's just
really
so like, okay,
cool.
I'm kind of getting to know them, but then they're also like a little thing to do with each other.
Yeah.
So most of the time they miss questions. And so she's kind of like,
excuse me.
Yeah, like what? Our first date was over here. Or,
right.
Like that's not where we went. So it's like they kind of, I get to know exactly who they are, who's more comfortable. If they're opened up or not, if the guy's kind of just more like, I don't want to do this or, so,
definitely.
Like, that's one of the things I kind of like to get to know them, kind of give them like a little thing to do beforehand. And they kind of feel a lot more comfortable with you as well.
That's really cool.
They decide they don't know each other.
And they never get married.
And they're like, we're not going to get married anymore. Okay. So another question was, who is a photographer you admire?
Oh man, I have a couple. One of the biggest ones is from the Daisies. She's photographer. I think she's based out of Kansas and she's just super good and really, I'm into weird. And I tell people that all the time at shoots. I'm like, okay, this is going to be really weird, but I promise you're going to love it later on. And she does really weird, cool stuff. And then another one is Larkin Kendall. She's like a wedding photographer. I don't know where she's based actually. They're both people I've never met, never talked to, nothing like that, but they're just
somebody that you just see.
Like, and I'm obsessed with their work.
That's dope.
My favorite thing about her though is that she shows more of her authentic self than anybody else as like a business owner that I've ever met.
Okay.
She shows her kid like drawing with marker all over himself. She shows them, her husband is like a wheat farmer, like the process of them actually like doing their crops, and she cusses like a sailor, which I do too. And so I'm like, okay, at one point or another, I legit want to be able to feel that way and that comfortable and confident in myself and like still have a business where people are like, okay, she says the F word every other word, but I'm still going to hire her because she's dope, you know?
Because they feel that's you.
That's me. Who they want. I want you to hire me, like for myself.
Yeah, I feel like when we first get into stuff, like we try to like,
customer service voice.
Yeah. You know, you kind of hold yourself back because you don't know if like,
should I say that?
Yeah.
How do they feel?
Take it or not?
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like as a photographer, you can become a business on who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like, I think that's one of the things I love about it the most is that you can be who you are, and some people might not like it. Yeah. But it just might not be for them.
And that's okay.
But there's gonna be a lot of people who will be like, no, I want to book him because not only is his pictures are good or her picture's good, but I like her as a person.
He's really cool. Yeah. Right.
So okay, we had 6, but 3 of them are on here. Okay. One more is this. I don't know. So okay, it says, "What's your worst Karen story?" Have you ever been in a situation where someone's been
a Karen?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Me either. I think I've always been seen on like social media.
I kind of feel really okay. Well, no. Yeah, no. I feel really. I don't know if they mean like as a client or just in general.
Yeah, it's just like that. It don't say client. Yeah, just in general. That's what I'm guessing. I don't remember being anywhere where it's just like.
I feel like I encounter Karens a lot, but they're never really like focused on me. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, I worked at In-N-Out. That was my first job I ever had. Really? Yeah, so I love In-N-Out. It's my favorite.
We're gonna have to fight.
You don't like In-N-Out?
It's cool.
Oh,
yeah. You didn't watch my podcast? I know, for real. We fought about this. The question was like, I feel like everybody thinks it's like the best burger ever. Oh, and I just kind of feel like it's not. And yeah, my opinion.
We can fight. It's fine.
Nobody has to kill me or anything.
I disagree.
Nobody has to kill me, but.
But so I encountered a ton of Karens there, but they were never like mean to me or anything like that. You know, people freak out all the time over food.
Yeah, I've always seen like on social media. I don't think I've ever been in a. Have you guys ever been?
What's that?
Like a Karen situation? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Like, have you been in that situation?
Hilarious that name has been adopted now.
It's messed up. It's messed up for whoever names Karen now.
I know, right?
Like I would hate it. And they say they say the male version is Kevin.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
No.
Yeah.
Is it Kevin?
Son, Kyle.
That's crazy. You have?
No, I've seen them happen, but not like to me.
To you, okay, right? Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah. That's really cool.
So those were some of the questions on Instagram.
Those are fun,
and I appreciate for those people who actually put them. There was actually 3 more, but they're all on here. You actually answered a couple of them already.
Okay.
So, take me through the process of booking you. If I was a client, or any of us in here were a client, how would we go on booking you?
So I have a website, which is obviously how I prefer people to reach out because it has my pricing on there. It has what's included in all my sessions, and then you get to.
What do they type in?
KaylaIrenePhotography.com.
Okay.
It's a very long one.
So, quick question, just before we get into that.
Yeah.
Because I see this a lot. Are you the person who says don't DM?
No.
Okay, so you do take DM.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see a reason why you wouldn't DM?
The only reason I see it is on Instagram side, not on the client side.
Yeah.
It is sometimes annoying when people just DM you, hey, what is your prices for a session? Okay. And I'm like, well, what kind of session? Yeah. How long do you need me for? You know, what's going on?
So taking to your website kind of gives you more of a detail what they need.
All of their questions are answered on my website, and then they can just tell me about themselves, what day that they need me, and we can go from there. So I don't say don't DM me because obviously it's the most convenient way, and people find me through Instagram, you know? So
I became a person who's like, I don't think I will ever go to somebody's page and be like, well, let me go here to their website. Them.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people do because in my bio, it has like a link tree, and then you can go to my website. And so many people reach out to me that way, which is awesome. But so many people DM me as well. So it's just kind of like, I don't really care either way.
Yeah, I think, because I've seen people who are like, don't DM, just emails only.
Yeah.
But I'm just like.
But why?
Yeah, because we turn our pages into business pages and stuff like that. And it's like for our business.
So what I was going to say though is Instagram, if you don't answer, people react to stories and then respond to stories and then, and it can get lost way down in there. Or if someone now the way that they do it is they request to like unknown versus your friends or whatever.
Oh, okay,
you have to go in and accept them. I can go weeks without answering a DM, and it's not because I'm ignoring anybody. It's because someone asked something, and then I posted a picture, and everybody reacted to it, and then it got pushed all the way down, and it doesn't even show as unread unless you actually go and scroll.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's the silliest thing ever.
That's what I think that's why I see the only problem is.
That's what I see a problem
is like, somebody's getting lost.
Yeah, they're getting lost.
If Instagram had an unread.
Yes, absolutely,
mm-hmm.
absolutely.
That's my big I think DM. The process of a DM is
it's
cool,
easy,
but there is a possibility that you are not going to get read if you're like just
if
getting crazy. So what's the rest of the process?
Oh, okay. Sorry. So you can either go to my website or you could DM me, which is just Kayla Irene Photography. We talk about what you're wanting, expectations. If it's a wedding, I always set up a consultation so that we can meet. I tell clients or like bride and grooms that they have to be with me for 8 to 10 hours of the day on their most important day of their lives. So if they don't like who I am or if they think my voice is annoying, they shouldn't book me because I'm going to be with them their entire day. But then if it's just a regular session, we'll talk about what it's for. Do they have a vibe specifically in mind? Pick a date and a time and go from there.
Okay.
So usually they tell me like, I have this in mind or these are what we're wearing and we'll pick a location. I shoot at a lot of the same locations. So as soon as I know kind of what they're looking for and what vibe they have going on, then I'm good from there. It's easy.
Deposit?
No.
No deposits?
No.
You don't take deposits at all? Nothing?
No.
I'm going to book you then. Let me
and then cancel.
Let me schedule these 4 dates now.
So the coronavirus, even pre-coronavirus, I didn't really do deposits because I'm kind of a terrible businesswoman in general. I'm so into my craft that the business side of it gets really pushed back behind, including like accounting. I finally hired Atlas Solutions to do all of my bookkeeping and stuff for me because all I was doing at work all day was bookkeeping and then going home and doing bookkeeping. And I was like, I can't. I'm over it.
Did you use the app or something, or did you?
I used QuickBooks.
Okay,
yeah, and
you didn't like do the apps where you get like do you have I don't want to ask too much questions, but like I have like a business account that everything runs through, and then you could like make it to where it just goes directly.
Right, I have a business account, and I did have it set up with like the rules where it'll automatically do it all. But for whatever reason, like the actual balancing every month and going through and like changing any transactions or whatever, it was just
too much.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, you just rather pay somebody.
It didn't spark any joy in my life, so I got rid of it.
Yeah, I have an accountant too. He does it for me.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm acting like I do it. I'm acting like I do it myself.
Judging me.
Yeah,
you're
like, why don't you just do it?
Yeah,
yeah, I definitely get it. And it's to me, it's like I'm buying time.
Yeah,
because
literally.
it's like you're buying time back to yourself,
right?
Because it does take a lot of time.
Yep.
Okay, so. Okay, I put this question here. This is the most question I think I put in here that I wanted to talk about with you specifically because you're a female photographer.
I'm very scared. I'm so scared.
No, it's not a bad question. It's a question it's something I've talked about.
Curious.
And then I actually talked to my sister about it. She said, she was like, that sounds rude.
Oh.
And she was like, she kind of like, it's kind of offensive.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
so I can slap you then?
Yeah, I was like, did I come off offensive when I said it, or the question offensive? She's like, I think the way you worded it.
Oh, okay.
So I have a reason why I have this question, and then I want your opinion because you're a female, and it has to do with female-male type of photographers.
Okay.
And then just be honest and let me know, because I'm just kind of, to me, it's just something I wanted to know or see if anybody else had the same
issue.
Thought. Yeah. So do female photographers have an advantage over male photographers? Now, let me say why. I think because I've talked about it before was because I've booked a few people and they say like, I've had a few clients tell me like, oh, I almost didn't book because my husband or my fiance prefers a female photographer.
Right.
And I understand it because I feel kind of like me as a guy taking pictures before I even got into photography, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking orders or like, hey, pose this way from a guy. You get what I'm saying? A guy telling me pose like this or pose like that or do this. I'm gonna feel like, why is the guy telling me to do it?
Right.
And I feel more comfortable with the girl telling me. Because I don't know. To me, it's just maybe it's an ego thing for guys. Maybe it's something where guys feel like, you know, I can't do that in front of a man or something. You know what I'm saying? So I had a few clients actually tell me that, like we almost didn't book because we thought maybe, you know, it wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dang, is that a thing? Like, is that a thing for photographers that maybe they don't book male photographers because they're not girls or anybody else, but just because maybe they're husbands or fiancés, boyfriends, whatever they are,
Right.
just like, hey, I prefer somebody else. Or,
Yeah.
Do you think that's the thing?
I think it could be
Possible.
I feel like male photographers, not all, obviously, but some in the past have a certain style of photography.
Mhm.
Like, how can I say this?
We definitely aren't as, how would I say it? I would say like one thing with me, I think I haven't got to a point where I feel I can make them as genuine. I think I see other photographers. Like I see some photos that maybe like you post or someone else posts that are female photographers, and they look like they're just like super like just having the most joy.
Yeah.
Genuine.
I don't even think it's like that though. No.
And sometimes I have a hard time getting that from people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't. Some clients are just like,
it's easy.
Yeah. Some people don't.
Okay, so. But that's everybody.
Okay,
no, that's
sure.
everybody.
Okay.
We all have those clients that you have to either literally like pull it out of them.
Okay, yeah.
Or it just is like super easy and comes natural and they're really comfortable. I feel like that is kind of your ideal client comes into play. I don't know if you've like talked about that a lot, but my ideal client isn't somebody who's a model or who's been behind a camera 87 times in their life. My ideal client is just someone who's willing to come out there and have a good time. That's all I want. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to laugh and giggle and be cute and in love and whatever. You know what I mean? Or if you have littles, just run around and let them be crazy.
Yes.
Like, don't try to make it
so just
robotic. And like, that's just not my style.
Do you get a lot of people who ask for that? I get a lot of people who just want normal photos.
Yeah, they want, absolutely. Especially this time of year because it's fall. Everybody just wants that Christmas card photo. That's like literally all they need is that one picture. Yeah. And I get it. I totally get it. I've been in I've taken pictures like that, you know, I totally get it. But male versus female photographers, I feel like there's not a specific advantage one way or the other. But I do think that a woman or a female photographer might have it. I think there's more. Yeah. I think there's more. So it's more normal, quote, quote. And I think people might be more comfortable with it.
I think that's the biggest thing is them being more comfortable to a female photographer.
Absolutely.
And that's what, when I thought about it, I was like, I went back and thought about it to myself. Because I was like, first of all, I hate being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I hated taking pictures. And then like, I couldn't do it in front of a guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now I'm just thinking like, damn, like, so do you feel that's an offensive question?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because when I asked it, I was like, damn, I don't want to come off as offensive because that's not what I'm doing.
I do know what you mean because I totally understand that feeling. I think, I mean, even myself, if I were to go get pictures taken, like my family by a guy photographer or a male photographer, we would just, my dad wouldn't be like weird or anything, but it's just different. It's different. It's different. Yeah. But I don't think it's a bad thing one way or the other. It's
I haven't felt like it's a disadvantage.
Oh, good.
I was just wondering if like that's a thing for a lot of people. So
I think females have a disadvantage because you meet weird people sometimes in the middle of nowhere that you only met online.
And it's scary
crazy.
for female. One thing about like, because I think I've always thought about too, like female photographers and then the models as well.
Yeah, models for sure.
I see a lot of them post stuff that is just like,
this was scary.
That's messed up. Yeah, like, they shouldn't have to be going through stuff like that.
Absolutely,
and they do, and it's very common.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not
been,
right.
It's been
and
weird.
it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, I know it doesn't.
Like, it don't happen to me. Like, nobody's going to come to us, and try to be all weird. Like, and so it's really messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, so, where are we at? Okay. So what is your ideal time to shoot and why?
Golden hour.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's sunrise or sunset because there's two. A lot of people don't know that. There's two golden hours in the day. One at the very beginning of the morning, one at the very end of the day. I hardly ever do shoots any other time of day unless it's a wedding.
Do you do a lot in the morning?
No, like, not a lot.
It's hard to get people to get ready and then go out by sunrise.
Yeah.
I think sunrise is like, I prefer it over sunset.
Yeah. Oh, legit?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why. I like
it's like definitely softer light. Yes. For sure.
And it's like the pink, purple. And to me, it's like, that's dope.
Yeah.
But I love sunset too.
Yeah.
But
sunrise is hard to convince people. I usually do, like this morning I had one at 9 a.m., which the sun's coming up right now at like 6:37. So they just have to be up. Ready by like 8:30. They can leave at 8:30, get there at 9. I mean, on a Sunday morning, some people hate it because they're like, okay, I want to sleep in. Yeah. But when I get this busy and I don't have any other like sunset slots available, I'm like, this is what I have. You can take it or leave it, type deal. But we did sunrise in Yosemite a few weeks ago when I was up there for that elopement, and that was really cool. Yeah. That was really, really cool. Yeah.
Do you prefer a certain time that you don't want to shoot at?
Yeah, noon.
Noon?
I don't want to shoot at noon ever.
Do you ever shoot at noon?
On weddings, but that's it. And usually we're inside on weddings or like doing details, things that I can get into the shade for, because my brand, like what I love the sun.
Yeah.
Almost all of my photos are going to have the sun in it because it's just what I love.
That's what you do.
It's like, it's my favorite way that the photo is going to come out.
Yeah.
And so at noon, it's going to be sunny, but it's just not the type of sunny that you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I won't shoot at noon almost ever.
Yeah.
Like,
do you usually, like, if somebody asks you just tell them?
I'm like, I just don't even offer it as like an availability.
Oh, dang. Okay.
No, I either do morning, like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, or sunset. That's it.
Dang.
Yeah.
So nothing else throughout the day?
No.
That's crazy.
Because people book you for a specific style.
Because they see your picture, and that's what they want.
Right.
Definitely.
So they see, this gorgeous golden sunset photo, and then they're like, okay, let's book at 11:30 on Tuesday. And I'm like, okay.
You're not getting that. Yeah.
Well, here you go. This is what your picture is going to look.
Yeah,
I would hate to mislead someone and say, oh yeah, I could totally do that for you. And just because I want the money, that's not,
definitely.
It's not it for me.
Yeah.
That ain't it, fam.
Okay. So this is a question that I usually end with. What is your 5-year goal?
Ooh.
I hate this question.
Yeah.
I tell everybody I hate this question. Yeah, I know.
And you ask it every time.
I'm gonna force everybody else to do this.
For sure, full-time photography. Hopefully living in Montana. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Start over, or do you know a lot of people?
I don't know anybody. No, but I feel like I could do it. I'm not. Yeah. It's not even like, because I would come back to Bakersfield and do clients here and stuff and still go there because I'll have family here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully living in Montana.
What's there?
Well, my parents have a house there and they're eventually going to retire there.
Okay.
But my boyfriend actually, when we met, was working there like 6 months out of the year and loving it.
6 months out of the year? Damn.
Yeah. And then,
that's nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then we went 2 years ago for Christmas and just fell in love with it.
Okay.
I had been up there a few times before since my family has property there. But yeah, so we went in Christmas time, loved it. The snow was insane. And now we're going again this year for Christmas. And so it's just our favorite place. Yeah.
That's dope.
And it's so beautiful.
And you're set on that?
Yeah, pretty set. I mean, if something came up for like him in anywhere else, because he's in the oil fields as well. So if he were like to go to Texas or something, we would go. My sister's in Texas. My other sister's in Portland. I'm really fine with anywhere. I'm fine with California too.
Yeah.
But Montana is just kind of like a goal.
Yeah, that's dope.
So living there, maybe with a couple of kids.
Yeah. Kids
our dogs. And taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think by then I want to be able to do couples and weddings only. That's like a huge goal of mine. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think yeah, me too. I feel eventually when I get to a point where I'm just probably overwhelmed with clients, to the point where I can kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
Which I don't like the fact, but there is certain things that I love to do.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
sometimes it's just like yeah. To build that clientele as well. And maybe they'll keep coming back. And, but did you have a goal for this year? That coronavirus just completely shattered or anything?
I had so many weddings this year.
Okay, yeah. I think how many did you have again?
I think at the end of 2019, I had booked like 27 weddings, I think, for 2020.
And then what about by February?
I think I was
at 27
yeah,
still? Okay.
Maybe that's when coronavirus hit, I think I was at 27.
Was that full weddings or like elopements as well?
No, full weddings. Yeah.
See, I had like 23, but that was with elopements and weddings. And like none went through.
So my sister actually got married in June, but I didn't shoot it. She got married just like on a family friend's property.
Okay.
But I've done a few now in like October.
Yeah,
I have some in November. I have some in December, January, and then next spring and summer. But yeah, so that was my goal, was just to, by the end of December, quit my full-time job and do photography only. It's literally the saddest thing ever to have to say, because it just isn't going to happen. But I am so thankful that I did have my full-time job when the coronavirus hit, because so many photographers who are full-time photographers were just screwed.
Hard.
I mean, I hate to say that word, but literally screwed. And then trying to get through the EDD and like unemployment. It was crazy. So much. Yeah. And I was like, well, I still have my job, you know?
That's one thing that I think, like me too, like,
yep.
I still had my job.
It was terrible. And I felt horrible for everybody who had to go through all of that. But I was just eternally grateful to like still have a full-time job and a paycheck coming in.
Yeah.
So
have something to fall back on.
Right.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right. So those were all the serious questions for your interview.
Yay.
You got through it. So you didn't seem nervous either.
Awesome.
So we have a segment that we actually finally named. This is the first episode that we have with
a
this
name.
Yeah. Because we before we've been just kind of like, hey, we have a bunch of dumb questions I want to ask you. So now we actually just came up. We're going to call it Dame's Dumbass Questions.
Yes,
so,
I love it.
And we're going to hashtag it. So,
okay.
So the first one was, when the pandemic first hit, what were you worried about most? Besides toilet paper, obviously.
Like commodity-wise?
Not just like, did anything scare you? Did anything like, were you just like, oh my God, everybody's going to die? Or
No.
Okay.
My mother-in-law lives with my boyfriend and I, and she's very high risk. And so I was really worried about going to work every day or going out and bringing it home to her. Luckily, we've all been good and she's been good and everything's been fine. But that was literally, it consumed me. All I worried about was going out and then coming home and bringing it home to her. It was so scary. But we're good.
Yeah,
so,
I think when it first came out, nobody knew about it. That's like everybody's thing was just like, what if I have a carrier and just get everybody else sick?
Yep.
That's like one of the biggest things to me too.
Right.
I was like up at the grocery store at 4 a.m. just trying to miss crowds.
Yes, literally 24-hour Winco.
Yeah, exactly where I was at. Yeah, because I'll go to work at 5 and it's like they're still open 24 hours. Let me sneak in before everybody gets here.
Absolutely.
If you had your own podcast, what would you name it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
We need a name.
Okay. I'd probably do it Coffee with Kayla. And like have coffee and
that's cool.
Everybody hang out and drink coffee and talk.
That's actually kind of dope.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
all right.
Mike, what would you name yours? Need a name.
That's a hard one. That's a really hard name.
Yeah, I know. I would never be able to answer that.
No.
Yeah, that's like something I would really have to think about.
Matt, you have a name?
Powerhouse Podcast.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. What would you be? A podcast.
Perfect.
Okay. How old were you when you first got a phone?
Ooh. I think I was like 11.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you
No,
were going to come
no,
with like
no.
7 years old.
No,
I
I think I was like 10 or 11. And it was a hot pink razor that like flipped open. You remember the razors?
How old are you?
I'm 24. Yeah. And they're back. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
You had razors that...
Is that wrong?
No, but I thought it was razors were kind of far back, but maybe that's around that time.
Kind of old.
I'm 31.
That's 13 years ago.
Okay, yeah. That's razors. Yeah.
My first phone was the Nokia 30.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're talking like the Nokia payphones too, I had one of those way before that. My mom would buy them for me and my sister, and would just be like, "You can call me anytime," but no one else had a phone, so I'm like, "Who am I going to call? My mom?"
Did you ever have the LG with the mirror on it?
No.
Matt, you had the LG with the mirror?
No, but I know which one you're talking about.
You know which phone I wanted so bad? The Sidekick.
Sidekick.
Yes, everybody, huh?
Everyone wanted to flip it.
Yes.
We were just like, you had one?
Did you?
They were garbage.
It was dope. It was so
like
dope.
my laptop.
Oh, man. That
Mike,
poor
what was your
laptop.
first phone?
Yeah, it was a Nokia. It was
Okay.
black and green screen.
Like green
Yeah.
screen. All you could play is Tetris.
Yeah.
Mine had a blue screen.
Damn.
Oh, that was cool right
Big
there.
pimpin'.
All right. Okay, so on Facebook, everybody gets those memories now.
Uh-huh.
What is one of the worst Facebook memories that popped up?
Ooh.
I hate that. Like my Facebook, like you have 10 years memory, and it's like me with the selfie in a mirror. I'm like, what was I doing? Like, what is wrong with me?
I think. Oh man, anything in high school. Honestly,
Anything in high school?
No, okay, legit. Every like Friday night, I would be on Facebook. Oh, had such a bad day. Like,
okay.
gonna go to bed now or whatever. I'm like, Kayla, nobody cared. Like, why do you have this on your Facebook?
Maybe back then they cared.
No, nobody cared. Nobody commented. Nobody cared at all. Yeah. My older sisters, because there's like a 10-year age gap between us, they'd be like, what's the matter? And I'd be like, never mind. All like teen angst. Oh my gosh.
All right. If you had to pick a villain that you would be from a movie, who would it be? This is going to say a lot. Want to say you're going to be a murderer or something? No.
Not like any villain?
Any villain. It could be like I don't know, one of the superhero movies with the villain, or it could be like a
I was kind of thinking
thing, or
Maleficent.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen the first one.
Yeah. I think I would say Maleficent because she was a villain. But like if you watch Maleficent, the actual movie, because she's from Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
But if you watch the actual Maleficent movie, she's not really a villain.
Oh.
So does that count?
Yeah.
No. Yeah? Okay, good. Maleficent.
That means she's supposed to be a villain?
Yeah, sweet.
Mike?
I don't know. Joker?
Ooh.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
Joker.
Matt?
Hey, what's the big purple guy from Avengers with the
purple guy?
Yeah. Thanos.
Big purple
Thanos.
Oh, yeah,
the
purple guy.
That's gonna be me.
Barney. That's pretty tight, yeah.
Hey, Barney low-key was a villain though.
And Barney looks creepy now.
He is creepy, yes.
Why do people have that on? Okay. Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas.
Mike?
That's a hard one, man.
What?
Come on, Thanksgiving?
I know. I kind of
Christmas too, though.
Yeah.
I don't like Thanksgiving.
Okay, can we say Thanksgiving? I'm changing.
For real?
Yeah, because Christmas is ham and Thanksgiving is turkey, and I like turkey. I don't like ham.
You don't eat ham on Thanksgiving?
No, we eat turkey and ham. I think we have
Yeah,
both.
we have both.
But I like
Yeah,
turkey.
both.
So,
Oh, okay.
and really at Christmas,
hate
you don't really
turkey.
have. Oh.
I know. I hate turkey.
And In-N-Out, that's it. It's over.
Yeah,
It's over for you.
Yeah. Mike?
I'll have to say Thanksgiving because
Are you
I
serious?
know
That's
that
food.
Christmas is coming.
Oh,
after.
true.
So, Thanksgiving. Definitely.
Matt?
Nah, it's Christmas.
Yeah, that's Christmas. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah. Okay.
I don't get nothing no more, so I don't.
Oh,
That's
it's
true.
not fun
Yeah,
anymore.
We're just buying it now.
We're adults now. We're
It's
buying
an
these
excuse to
gifts.
buy yourself stuff.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, name your top 3 Christmas foods.
Christmas foods?
Yeah.
Okay, well, one time I brought Jell-O shots to my family's Christmas.
Food. That's not, well, I guess you eat it, yeah.
You do eat it.
Yeah, true.
So Jell-O shots, or I like stuffing. But do you have stuffing at Christmas?
Christmas?
No, huh?
I thought it was Thanksgiving too. Okay. So you have
I
Thanksgiving
don't
during
like.
Christmas
I
as
don't
well?
like Christmas food. Okay, wait, candy canes
That's a
and
You guys don't eat normal food during Christmas. What is a Christmas food?
what? Yeah,
Tamales.
Like what?
Thanksgiving.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
true. Yeah.
I think
Tamale?
it's
Yeah, I
tamales.
guess, yeah,
Christmas
tamales.
tamales. Okay.
True.
That's
I
3.
thought that was New Year's, but yeah, I guess.
Jell-O shots, candy cane, and tamales.
That's a really bad
That's
combination.
the best Christmas, hands down.
All right. Name your top 3 Christmas movies.
Okay, well, Home Alone was a great one.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to always make us come in and watch the old school Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that one is like super
dope.
nostalgic. And the Frosty the Snowman, where the dad, I think he dies, which is super sad,
I
but
know,
then he
like-
turns into Frosty the
I
Snowman.
think so,
You're
yeah.
talking about Jack Frost.
Oh, Jack Frost.
That
Yeah.
was dope.
Oh, so sad.
See, there's so many
So
Christmas
good.
movies that are dope.
There's so
but there ain't
many.
no Halloween ones.
Or
Facts.
Elf. Actually, Elf needs to
Ooh,
go
there
in
you
there.
go.
Elf needs
Mhm.
to go in there for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll take out Home Alone and put Elf in. Damn. Yeah.
Halloween,
know.
Home Alone though is like,
I
yeah.
know.
It's hard to pick 3 though.
Yeah.
Fake tree or real tree?
Real tree. Always.
Yes,
Real tree.
For real?
Always.
Yes,
Always.
Oh, I hate picking
Dude,
it
I
up.
love the
I hate
smell.
cleaning it. I hate.
Real tree.
Damn. I hate being a human.
A candle doesn't do the same. The candle doesn't do the same.
Damn.
You're fake?
Yeah, fake tree.
Yuck.
No,
I think that's the
man.
difference between women and men. Your excuse is the same as mine.
Yeah.
Cleaning it up.
Yeah, bro, like, especially if you have carpet trying to get all those
Yeah.
little things. Man, it's tough. Okay, so the last question. And this is another. I hate answering this question, but what is your New Year's resolution?
For 2021. Well, first of all, it has to be a better year.
Yeah,
It has to be.
Yeah.
We've hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
2020 has hit
Mhm.
rock bottom.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully
Whew.
we hit. Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
This is hard.
It is. It's a hard question on the
Oh
spot.
man. Yeah, especially because we're not even close yet.
Mhm.
But I guess if I start thinking about it.
We're in November.
Yeah. Maybe just to like continue to be happy. Like my peace. To keep my peace. Mm-hmm. I get very just to keep my mental peace. Yeah. Not let like things get overwhelming or too crazy. 2020 has been crazy. Yeah. Like there's been so much.
I think there's been so much that we actually just kind of like took it all into where it's like we feel it's normal.
Yeah.
And I don't think 2020. I don't think it is. No. Like, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's good.
So just try to keep some peace. Yeah.
Just to kind of make sure that
because even though things are always going to be hard, you know, maybe not always, but things are always hard.
Yeah.
And so I feel like to then just try to be able to keep a little bit of like normalcy through all the crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good resolution.
Thanks. Hopefully I keep it.
I'm glad you actually have one. I know a lot of people are like, I don't have a resolution.
Yeah.
Lose weight.
That's my. I know. I could have said that.
That's me too.
I could have been basic.
I've been doing that for like the last 10 years, and I'm never gonna do it.
No.
But yeah, cool. So I appreciate you coming to the podcast.
I appreciate you asking me.
And especially being the first photographer to come onto the podcast. It was kind of because actually when I started the podcast, I wanted it to be photographers. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk nothing but photography.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, you know what? We have a lot of local business owners that I feel are just like have stories. Like they
absolutely,
you know, like they have stuff that they built themselves, and I'm like, no, like let's hear their stories.
And I feel like it's cool because then, like you said in the very beginning, you're talking photography with me, and you already know, like we know a lot about each other, and like not each other, but like our businesses and stuff. We know everything about each other. But I mean, learning about other people's businesses and floral design or video, any of it, I think it's really cool. Barber, makeup, and that's all what goes into wedding day. Yeah. So I feel like you're low-key doing a wedding podcast.
Everything's kind of like goes into an event.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And we all kind of somehow are in the same industry.
Yeah, and know each other, which is awesome. Yeah.
So, all right, well, thanks again for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody who's tuned in to the podcast, and hopefully you guys will be here for the next one. If you guys haven't yet, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm a pretty boy, I'm stunning. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. Super speed Sonic, I'm running.